and welcome to AD4TVRadio weekly review of top stories, reaching you from Abuja, the Nigerian capital. I am Jessica Ochai. Within the week, we brought you a report on female entrepreneurship. The increase in female entrepreneurs is noticeable and phenomenal. It has been quite remarkable, with many of these female entrepreneurs hailing from different walks of life. AD4TV Radio spoke with one such female entrepreneur, Michelle Hambafan, who is into shoemaking. She shared her story on the journey so far.
Female entrepreneurs are women who organize and manage an enterprise. The first ever female entrepreneur in the world was Kalpana Saroj, an Indian who bought the distressed assets of a chips company and successfully steered it back to profits. Between Saroj and now, several have driven business ideas to record success levels. Michelle Hambafan, a Nigerian female entrepreneur, is proven herself in shoemaking. Michelle shared a story with AD4TV Radio.
24. I have 2 degrees, sociology and criminology, BSc and MSc. I'm a shoemaker. What else? After school, I didn't just want to sit home and not do anything. And then I didn't want to. I knew I needed to learn a skill. So the journey so far has been quite interesting. Like shoemaking is quite an interesting. Like the field of business is quite an interesting one. It's very interesting. Has been smooth. Yeah, I've had more ups than downs. Like I've had more good sides than bad sides. So it's been great. And then, when you're doing something and you know that you're doing it right, like when you get the satisfaction that you want, so you just know that, okay, you're on the right track. So for the most part, there's no day that I wake up tired and not wanting to come to the shop. So every day when I wake up, I'm excited about coming to the shop. So I just keep getting stronger every day that, okay, yes, I'm doing it right. Because I never get tired. The goal I had in mind when I started, because I'm in Makurdi at the moment. So the goal I had in mind was to make a name for myself. Like I wanted that when I go out or when I see photos on social media and I see people in groups, I want to spot at least one person wearing my brand. So I just wanted to dominate major markets. Like I just wanted to reach across every end. So when I see people in clusters, I want to peep and say, okay, somebody's wearing 945 here. So pretty much that was the goal that I had, just dominating the environment with my brand, just saturating everywhere pretty much. So I just wanted to dominate major markets. Like I just wanted to reach across every end. So when I see people in clusters, I want to peep and say, okay, somebody's wearing 945 here. So pretty much that was the goal that I had, just dominating the environment with my brand, just saturating everywhere. Oh yeah, like every entrepreneur, the challenges would always be money. Most of the time it's just money and getting the right market, like getting the right market to sell your product. But for me, thankfully, I have not encountered any major challenge. In as much as we have some bad days and I have some good days, I have some days that I make so much sales and I have some times that there are no sales at all. But pretty much, the challenges are not so much. It's just money. When people have money, they patronize the business. When there's no money in circulation, people do not patronize the business. So it's just at two extremes. But for a skill like shoemaking, people would always wear shoes, whether they have money or not. So it's a win-win for me, because even when there's money, I think I have a few stipends. Like I just have a few cash rolling in. So for this line of business, the challenges are really minimal. There are challenges, but they are very minimal. So it's just patience, and it's like in season. So some seasons you're in business, some seasons you're out of business. So pretty much it's just, but challenges are not so many. Okay, electricity sometimes, but yeah, when there's no light, you can't work. But then you need to make provision for generator and all of that stuff. So pretty much it's just Challenges are minimal because it was what I wanted to do. It was what I wanted to do. Like I was convinced that it was what I was supposed to do, and I loved it, and I still love it. So for me, it's passion. So I rarely ever, I never had doubts. I've never had doubts. Never. The greatest advantage for me is being female in a male-dominated world. Because shoemaking is a male-dominated world. So for me, my greatest advantage is being female, right? So sometimes we could be 10 shoemakers in one place, and then everybody, the attention will be on me because I'm female, and everybody will just want to see. Sometimes it's out of doubt. They'll be like, can you do this thing? And then they come and they say that, okay, I can actually do it. So for my greatest advantage is just being female, and we're just very few females in this shoemaking world. So the greatest advantage is just being female. It has helped me a lot. It has helped me a lot, a whole lot. I mean, nobody wants to be a local champion, right? Nobody wants to just be local at that local level. So for me, yes, that's why every day I just keep striving to see what I can do better, to see, okay, what do I need? What do I need to learn? What do I need to purchase? What do I need? That will just keep me improving. I know it takes time, but yes, I'm definitely heading somewhere. I'm not expecting to stay in this small room for the rest of my life. So yeah. Social media has been great. So basically, pretty much it's just Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, but basically WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. That's just how I put out my business. I just put out posts and then I just keep updating my pages, my business pages and all of that. So it's social media. That's how I sell my market. Basically, I sell my market through social media. I have a BSc and I have an MSc. It has not helped me. I have my certificate staring me in the face. I made good grades, by the way. So they're staring me in the face. So the first thing is you need to take out that you're educated mentality and drop it one side, because that mentality doesn't give you money. It doesn't bring money. That mentality does not pay bills at all. So first of all, I'd like to say that just identify what you love to do and stick to it. Just most importantly, it's just your passion. You need to, because there's sometimes you wake up and then you are just not in the mood. But then passion is what keeps driving you. So I just feel, first off, people should be passionate. Just find something you're passionate about and hold on firmly to it. Another thing is humility. Because you can't have the mentality of you being too big for something. You can never be too big for something. So you just need to be humble. You need to humble yourself and be ready to learn, be teachable. Just be ready to learn all the time, because even in this business, I get to learn from people that are obviously younger than me by age, younger than me by qualification, younger than me by every standard. But then I get to learn new things from them all the time. So pretty much I would say that just humility, teachability, passion. Just hold on to your virtues. What to hold on to, what you believe in, just hold on to it tightly, and then if you have skills too. So basically, that's my advice. Education is good. I'm not undermining education. Education is good, but most of the time, education doesn't pay bills. My own education has not paid my bills. My skill is what's paying my bills. So that's it.
Another successful female Nigerian entrepreneur is Folorunsho Alakija, a billionaire who is involved in the fashion, oil, real estate and printing industries. Alakija is ranked by Forbes as the richest woman in Nigeria with an estimated net worth of $1 billion. These enterprising female entrepreneurs boldly entrench themselves as active players in different sectors and are credited to adding value to economies beyond borders. Olamide Aitalegbe, AD4TVRadio, Abuja.
We also brought you a report on women and politics. It is no news that women are making waves when it comes to politics. For over 200 years, the United States of America has not recorded any win with the women folks as either a president or a vice. However, history repeats itself again with Kamala Harris, a woman of color, as Vice President of the United States of America, breaking the glass ceiling. In Nigeria, we also have recorded a lot of women that have contributed to the growth of the nation. To mention a few, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, the first female Minister of Finance and former Managing Director of World Bank, who also very recently became the first African and the first woman to be appointed as the Director General of the World Trade Organization. Obi Ezekwesili, the co-founder of Transparency International, and Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations and Chair of the United Nations Sustainable Development Group. She spearheaded a campaign for the cleanup of Nigeria's oil-producing Ogoni region. Speaking with AD4TV Radio, Evelyn Oyilo, a media practitioner and gender rights advocate, stressed on the wins of women in politics and for women to get more involved in politics.
Women are the future of this country, and that future is here because we have seen what the men have done. See the mess we are in. I'm sorry to say. We need women. We need leaders with empathy right now. I think one of those things that cost Donald Trump his seat is his lack of empathy. We don't need this thing about struggles and wars all the time, talking tough. There are issues on ground. There is COVID-19. There are inequalities. There is hunger. There are diseases. There are so many things that should draw our attention as leaders.
Still on women and politics, we brought you a report earlier in the week on U.S. election. With the curtains almost drawn on the U.S. presidential election, which saw the emergence of Joe Biden as president-elect and Kamala Harris as his vice, a lot of speculations and mixed feelings have been trailed the exercise.
Born on October 20, 1964, to a British-Jamaican father and an Indian mother in Oakland, California, United States, Harris, who was a politician and an attorney, graduated from Howard University and the University of California, Hastings College of Law. With a long streak of feathers in her career and political heart, she began her career in the Alameda District Attorney's Office before being recruited to the San Francisco's District Attorney's Office and later moved to the City Attorney of San Francisco's office. She also, amongst others, served as the Attorney General of California. While launching herself into the political scene in the US, Harris in 2016 defeated Loretta Sanchez to become the second African-American woman and the first South Asian American to serve in the Senate of the United States of America. The 56-year-old Harris, who will be resuming the office of Vice President on the 20th January 2021, is going to be the first ever female Vice President and the highest ranking female elected official in the US history. Is Harris' victory as the Vice President a new change to the face of politics in the US? What does Harris' victory portend for the female folks across the globe politically? With a record number of women elected to Congress, considerable history will be made when they all take office in January. In 2016, after a defeat by Trump in the presidential election, Hillary Clinton said, "Women are yet to shatter the hardest and highest glass ceiling." The defeated Democratic candidate then went on to say, "But someday someone will, and hopefully sooner than we might think." In the word of Hamid Daisy, our former chief executive of the Democratic National Committee, now at American University, a lot of glass ceilings were shattered in one day. Ron Klain, whom Biden named as his chief of staff, said Harris will play a significant role, noting that the Biden-Harris duo will bring in a lot of women at all levels into the administration. Analysts expect Biden to appoint either Progressive Senator Elizabeth Warren or Federal Reserve official Lael Brainard, a former Treasury Undersecretary, to head the Treasury, a position never filled by women. Reports from experts also show that the United States might also see its first female Secretary of Defense, as Michelle Flournoy, a former Pentagon No. 3, has been frequently mentioned. Harris' ascension as the Vice President-elect shows that a new wave of politics is fast descending like the morning dew over the global political atmosphere, which will see women fill more positions and in the nearest future, with a ray of optimism, shatter the highest and hardest glass ceiling in global politics. Olamide Aitalegbe, AD4TVRadio, Abuja.
We take a break now. When we return, more weekly stories. Please stay with us.
AD4TVRadio, we focus on education with emphasis on research and innovation, science and technology, women and girl child education, children, health, youth and sports, socio-political and economic reforms, security, environment, entrepreneurship, and entertainment. We'll give you information at your fingertips. Learn on the go. Follow AD4TVRadio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. AD4TVRadio, reliable and credible.
We love you, AD4TVRadio.
Welcome back. Within the week, we brought you a report on the need for a second lockdown because the number of active COVID-19 infections is rising all over the world. Due to the resurgence of the COVID-19 infection, countries around the globe are already planning a second wave of total lockdown to prevent further spread of the virus. Our correspondent sampled the opinion of residents of Abuja on the desirability of a second lockdown in Nigeria.
At the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, many countries enforced total lockdown and social distancing as a measure to halt the spread of the COVID-19 virus. As cases reduced, countries relaxed the restrictions gradually. Many people believing the worst was over returned to their routine, including social activities. These attempts to enjoy freedom of movement and interaction had negative consequences. Many countries in Europe retracted to fighting a second wave of the deadly virus, governments favoring local measures to national lockdowns. Ireland was the first European country to announce a return to a full lockdown. In Nigeria, daily COVID-19 record has raised fears the country returning to a second lockdown to curb the spread of the virus. However, residents of Abuja downplayed the necessity of a second lockdown in Nigeria.
Looking at developed social formations like the Western nations, America, Europe, and all of them, they are beginning to lock down again. Locking down in Nigeria, especially towards the end of the year, may not be the solution because majority of the people, about 85% of Nigerians, earn their livings on daily basis. And a lockdown will not favor them. It will be catastrophic for government to declare a lockdown.
We don't need another phase of lockdown in Nigeria because it's going to affect a lot of people. And I don't really think COVID is all that serious in African environments. We might see one or two. I'm not saying it's not here totally, but I don't think it calls for another lockdown. People will suffer.
We should not go into lockdown because the one already with lockdown, we have not survived from it. Many people are still crying today. There is starvation, there is hunger. Many people are begging. You see a gentleman dressed with begging, and you thought maybe it's a Yahoo boy or 419. It's not, it's hunger. So lockdown is not necessary any longer.
These Nigerians insist there are better ways to reduce the spread of the virus instead of another lockdown.
Need to give us a different model that we can follow while not locking down. The economy should be allowed the way it has been opened. In fact, it can be completely opened now while we live with the coronavirus, but maintaining social distancing, wearing our face masks, avoiding crowded areas, and other protocol of COVID can help us, not lockdown.
People know how to manage themselves, but all that I know is that COVID is not all that serious in Africa that should warrant, or in Nigeria that should call for another lockdown. Thank you very much.
Nigeria has so far recorded a total of 64,184 cases, 60,069 recoveries, and 1,158 casualties. Alex Emmanuel, AD4TVRadio, Abuja.
Remember, coronavirus is real. Ensure you wash your hands regularly. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Wear your masks, besides maintaining social distancing. And that's it for our weekly review. You can join the conversation on our website at www.ad4tvradio.com. Please follow us on our social media platforms at AD4TVRadio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at AD4TVRadio as well. Many thanks for watching. I am Jessica Ochai.